Aloha and welcome in Soul Family. Soul Ohana Kapualani here with your timeless reading. As I am diving into this reading, we do have I believe it's Leo full moon that we're experiencing. Nevertheless, because this is a timeless reading, as always, whenever you should be watching this, just always take what resonates, leave the rest behind. So we're going to go ahead and open up the space with 3 chimes of my tuning fork here. And I just invite you to take a moment to close your eyes and focus on your breath. And as you breathe in through the nose, maybe breathe in for a count of 4. You can hold it at the top for a count of 4 as you exhale fully, completely for a count of 4. And I encourage you to take at least 3 to 4 deep, soothing, cleansing breaths, just setting your goals, your intentions for this time together, as well as giving thanks, gratitude, and appreciation to your higher self, your spirit teams of ancestors, angels and archangels, Mother Earth, Father Sky, God, Source, Creator, Spirit, Light, all the good stuff. So here we go. Okay, so let's dive into the cards and see what messages Spirit has for us today, this week. And so you know, there is a part 2 to this reading, an extension at kapualani.com/extensions. You can find the link in the comments or the description box below. It starts at just $1.11 and it's just almost like a pay what you can sliding scale. So let's see. Spirit, what do we need to know? Thank you. What do we need to know, Spirit, for today, this week, whenever you should be seeing this? 4 of Cups, technically. We've got discontent and boredom. So you might be in this space of I want to say almost like, in some ways it can be stagnation. In some ways we can be overwhelmed with emotions, or maybe even underwhelmed, not feeling very enthusiastic about what's happening right now, or feeling a little bit lackluster. Sometimes when I see this card, the phrase, the grass is always greener on the other side, tends to come to mind. And so there may be certain things, like for example, in this image, we've got this individual who is focused on the shadowy aspect of things rather than looking out to the bright, sunshiny, scene that's ahead, and contemplating, wishing to be somewhere else, longing to be somewhere else, someone else even, or just in some other place, some other time, some other circumstance or situation. And so there may be a little bit of a struggle to recognize the benefit, the fulfillment, what's available to you right here, right now. Because, at the bottom here, we've got this rainbow prism of light shining through. And if this individual were only to just turn just slightly, or turn the gaze right there, you would see that there's something to maybe smile about, something to brighten up his day, rather than sort of, again, just dwell in the shadows. So do you find yourself in this space of restlessness, of boredom, of discontent? Oh, I didn't even do that on purpose. Maybe the discontent part, but I forgot that this actually said boredom at the bottom here. So maybe just feeling a little bit uninspired about your circumstances as it is. So Spirit, tell us a little bit more about this energy, this discontent and boredom. And this is also part of the energies that may be coming up, but it's also what's passing, okay? What you're moving through and what will be passing, what you're moving on from. And we've got the universe. Look at this. So, a lot of the time when we have the 4 of Cups, or in this case, this, 4 energy of emotion, it's that the universe is providing us with the answers. The answers are right under your nose, but we're just failing to see it. We're failing to acknowledge it, to make the most of it. Kind of like, is the glass half empty or is it half full? Right? And this universe card, it's very expansive. It's similar to the world energy. And so again, with the world, there are major cycles, whether it's a year, and generally that's the time frame that we look at with the world, is we think about where you were this time last year. You have no idea where you will be this time next year, for example. And so if we just sort of absorb and be present to the moment, it's going to go by in a flash, right? And these are just the downloads that I'm getting. You are the center of your universe. There's something here with this particular image and this card that's giving me a feeling of self-reflection. It's this energy that there may be certain elements in your life or in your, that deal with your goals where you'd rather be doing this or that. Like I kind of touched on that here, but this is where the spirit is saying make the most out of each moment here and now. Use this time by reflecting on, again, where were you not only this time last year, but just even in the past. Think about moments where you've been through this sort of feeling before, where you've had this kind of, maybe it's a lull, for example. It feels like a lull. Really, there's nothing major happening, one way or another in your own world. Of course, in the world around us, there are major things happening. But in your world as it is, what's coming up for you, and how can you maybe expand, broaden your horizons to see the bigger picture and seize the moment, essentially, is what I'm getting. And to recognize that in your life, I'm hearing the words master storyteller. You are the alchemist to your reality. And they're bringing my attention back to the world card. And so it's really just, recognizing again what can bring you fulfillment in the here and now as you continue to move toward the life, the goals, the dreams, and such that you are calling in. And if anything, again, it's about being present to the moment. All right, so Spirit, what is a core focal point? What's coming through in the here and now? What do we need to know? Spirit, thank you. What can we focus on? Okay, so Five of Cups, in this case, Five of Emotions, emotional loss. Yeah, there's still, I feel like even if you've tried, and I feel like you've been trying, this universe card tells me that you've been trying to move onward and forward from just the past, but it might be a little bit difficult. There is this feeling of not just dwelling or contemplation, but maybe for some there's a feeling of grieving in terms of what was and what no longer is. There are elements from the past that may be weighing you down, whether consciously or subconsciously, unconsciously. These 9 energies, the Solitude card, spiritual strength, which would also be the 9 of Wands, solitude being the Hermit energies. In this case, I feel like there is, this is a reminder from Spirit that this is a spiritual journey that we're on. And right now, there's less of an ability to manipulate or control things in such a way that would bring a bigger degree of self-satisfaction, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to really quickly touch on, for the universe, the signs indicated would be the fixed signs of Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and solitude with the Hermit would be Virgo energies. And I mentioned the word reflection before, and now here we have that 9 energy. You've come a long way here, and this is a soul-searching moment. This is a time to really honor whatever just underbelly type emotions, heavier emotions, feelings may be arising. As I am doing this reading, as I mentioned, we are touching in a full moon energy. I believe we may also be experiencing the Venus retrograde. And so that may be drawing up certain feelings, things from the past, whether it's love connections, relationships, whether it's your life in general, a time in your life where you wish that things could be easier. It's almost like longing for the simpler things, longing for the way that things used to be, or wishing that we could turn back the hands of time to just sort of have, again, it's a simpler sort of energy that I'm thinking of here. This Buddha aspect, and even again with this solitude energy is Spirit's way of saying, it's not just about going inward, but address any inner sort of feelings that may be coming through so that you can bring healing energy to it. This may just be a time for healing and for that sort of reflection in terms of saying, all right, maybe it's time to clear out the emotional closet, so to speak. And because I'm just being shown, I mean, exactly like in my vision here, things like clothes are just, you have a closet and it just kind of is, it's unorganized and there's like a pile of stuff that's just there. It's time to sort of go through and tend to the things that you haven't had the time, you haven't maybe had the focus to tend to. While we're in this something of like a slower moment, things are slowing down. It is slowed down whether you want it to or not. This is giving you an opportunity to, again, go inward. This is giving you an opportunity to slow down. This is giving you an opportunity maybe to be alone. Maybe you've been feeling like being alone. Maybe you haven't wanted to really deal with the external, with others. Maybe you haven't really felt like talking. There's a lot of this feeling of maybe even meditation coming through, mulling over things without necessarily any clear thought, even. I would say that, it could even be that journaling, it may be a good time for you to journal. It may be a good time for you to maybe even reflect back on your old journals or writings or just whatever it is. Because I get this feeling with this book, there's something to learn here and absorb and remember. There's something maybe to remember about how far you've come, about who you are. Because, like everything happens so quickly, right? Time, sometimes it can feel like it's dragging on. And then when you look back, it's like, oh my gosh, where did the time go? So you may have feelings of mourning or grieving or loss that's coming up in terms of, why did I waste so much time on this, that, the other thing, on this person, on this situation, on that career path, or was it all worth it in the end? Is what I'm doing right now even worth it? All right. But this nine of wands, the spiritual strength card, is a reminder that, it's when we think about the nine of wands, it's another stop and pause moment, and it's a mindful pause, and it's a purposed pause. This isn't something to where, oh, I guess you're doing something wrong here, so you got to figure it out. There's really nothing in like a big major way to be figured out except to honor your energy levels. Allow yourself a space to rest. You may still have things that need to be done, but you can certainly shift gears and readjust in a way how you're going about doing certain things. Learn from the past. Maybe there's a learning curve of some sort in terms of how you can be a bit wiser at how you go about communicating, how you go about accomplishing tasks, how you go about manifesting, for example. You know yourself, and so think back again any moments in the past where you may have had similar struggles or moments that have come up. This too shall pass is something else that I'm hearing. All right. So let's get some guidance, some advice, maybe a look at our outcome here. Spirit, thank you. Where is this all taking us? What is it leading up to? We got choose wisely in a reverse position. I thought about flipping it right side up, but I'm just going to leave it like this because that's what we've got. So there's confusion that's here. So there's a lot of this sort of emotional confusion, potentially emotional, I want to say the word distortion. And so, you know what, let's just take a moment here to, like I said this in the beginning about connecting with the breath, but being that I am an energy healer first and foremost, take a moment, if this speaks to you, to just gently close your eyes. Okay. And as you're connecting with your breath, I want you to just visualize a sea of gold light, crystalline, liquid, beautiful, rich, thick chi, life force, like honey, light, hovering above head. You can see it as though the sun is shining down upon you. And as you breathe in, just see a beautiful stream or waterfall of that rich, thick, life force essence, that mana flowing down, down, down through your crown, massaging your crown. Each inhalation that you take, allow for that light to spiral down, around, and through you, mind, body, and soul, all your layers. And as you exhale, Release through an exhalation through your mouth, preferably. Any and all doubts, any fears, any restlessness, just release it through a sigh, a ha. Feel that heaviness, any heaviness dropping out of your joints, dropping out the back of your neck, your shoulders, your hands, your feet, your knees, your belly, your hips, your pelvic floor. Feel it dropping out. Continue to breathe that beautiful warmth, that light from the sun, source, universe, down, expanding it through the chest if you haven't already done so. Expanding it in the belly, allowing it to really fill your hips, your pelvic floor, sinking into you, mind, body, and soul. Down, 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 breathing through your knees, your ankles, your feet. Don't forget breathing in and out. Exhaling what no longer serves you, what no longer resonates. Again, any restlessness, any fears, any scarcity or lack, we're exhaling it out, out, out. Push it out, just like that, with a powerful breath. And when you get to your feet, if you haven't done so already, as you're breathing that gold light in, see and visualize that you've got roots growing through your feet, through your seat, anchoring you into the earth, 5, 6, 7 feet into the earth, seeing that there's this beautiful heart chakra energy, high heart energy, so pink light, magenta light, soft pink, soft magenta, rose color, maybe a dusty rose. And as those roots connect to that heart chakra energy in the earth, that wellspring of life force, of anchoring, of grounding, and of centering, cleansing, clearing, and purifying. Breathe that light up, up, up through those roots, your feet, all the way back up and through you, mind, body, and soul, pulsating at the joints, allowing it to just massage the belly, your heart chakra, your shoulders, your spine, the base of your neck, your skull. Swirling it in a counterclockwise motion, infinity, in the left and right hemispheres of the brain, left and right, right to left in your shoulders, in your heart space, on your left and right sides, your knees, your feet, wherever it should resonate. And continue to just draw that light up through your body, up through your crown, eventually connecting it with that beautiful golden sun above head. And so it is. All right? You can use this exercise and go back to that little guided meditation if it resonates, as it resonates, if and when you should feel the need for any of that support to come through. When you're ready, just blinking your eyes open, returning to the space here. You can focus back on the cards and the messages from Spirit. So, yeah, things may feel a little bit clouded, I hope that this little short guided meditation was helpful. It may feel as though you're kind of wading through just the waters here, trying to find your way, but feeling a little bit sluggish, feeling a little bit blocked. Be mindful about any overeating or, just any kind of overindulgences, for example, that may be adding to any cloudiness. Sometimes we emotionally eat or we react by shopping or whatever it is, that kind of thing, smoking, drinking, whatever it is. So just be mindful of that so you're not doing anything that's harmful to yourself or, of course, those around you, which I don't feel like you're doing anything harmful to those around you, but it's just about minding our behaviors so we're not being too overindulgent, overreactive, self-indulgent, I should say. It's okay. Have a slice of cake. But, just know when to say when, right? So, okay, Spirit, outcome, please, guidance and outcome. So just be mindful. Because that 7 of Cups energy in this case, it says to choose wisely. So there may be some choices, some directions for you to acknowledge, to look at, which may be a little bit difficult right now. You're not really knowing up from down or down from up or knowing which way to go. What's the right decision? But look at that. We've got fertility, deception, and envy. So we've got 2 7s, 2 9s, predominantly we have the water coming through. So a lot of this emotional stuff coming up, and I feel like this is a good time to just acknowledge releasing, cleansing. I know that full moons are about manifesting and whatnot, but for us to have powerful manifestations, we want to be clear, right? And so with this 7 of Swords, the deception and envy card, mental energy, with this particular 7 card, things are not what they appear. And look, what is it? How are things actually? It's this fertility card, this Empress energy, which is Taurus energy. So we've got a couple of Tauruses coming through with the universe, again, the fixed signs, and then fertility here with the Empress. And so maybe you're not seeing how in control you are. It might be a little bit difficult because I'm hearing like rat race, the word rat race right now, getting caught up in what's going on externally. So it may be a little bit distracting or disorienting to focus on ourselves and focus on the fact that, hey, I've got everything that I need right here, right now. And maybe there are certain things in the future that I know I'm going to have to deal with, certain things that are not in my control right here, right now, but it's going to happen eventually. That could be wearing on you. And so that's where these cards and the messages that I'm getting, again, it's just kind of trying to remind us to stay present to the moment as best as we can and go inward if we're feeling just overwhelmed or distracted or chaotic with what's going on externally. If there is any kind of hardship that's coming up, whether it's emotionally, mentally, even if it's otherwise, financially, romantically, whatever the case may be, just know that this too shall pass. With this 7 of Swords, deception and envy card, it's not what you say, but how you say it. And be mindful that others may be going through similar experiences. And so, sometimes taking a step back to allow for the air to clear, to get a broader perspective on things, especially if we're feeling a little bit narrow focused or, like a little bit fixated on certain outcomes or desires or whatever the case may be, expand and broaden and see yourself from the inside out. And I like how we were focusing even on that heart chakra, the gold, light, and so forth. So just anchoring and rooting. And there's some tree branches extending here, giving us this feeling of a tree energy. And in one of, the Wild Unknown deck, the Empress is represented by a tree, And so root yourself, ground and anchor yourself. Stay grounded right now, especially through any kind of weirdness is what I'm getting. All right. So I'm going to continue just with these animal spirit guide book cards, or the animal spirit guides. And now this is what we're going to do. As I mentioned earlier, there is a part 2 to this reading for those who are interested. Again, it's a sliding scale option. It starts at $1.11. So I invite you to check it out. Don't be shy. Kapualani.com/extensions. And you can also schedule a pre-recorded or a live reading with me, as I am here for you for any personal sessions, personal requests that you may have at Kapualani.com. But again, I'm going to dive into our animal spirit guides cards. And in this shuffle, I'm going to just give my downloads of the animal spirit that comes through. And in the part 2, I will be reading from the animal spirit book. I will also, I'm going to get to that in a second, but for those who don't know, I will be going to our angel answers. So if you have a yes/no question that you would like to ask or address, we will be shuffling the angel answers deck in the part 2 in the extension. And I've been having fun with the romance angels. So we're also going to be pulling cards from the romance angels, just doing a shuffle and seeing what pops out. And if you don't have any questions or inquiries around romance, that's totally okay. I always suggest that we lean into the romance angels just in a broad sense in terms of what you're passionate about, what's speaking to you at the moment. All right, so let's get back to the animal spirit guide. And this is the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Guide. So let's see, Spirit, what animal spirit guide is speaking to us today? Whose guidance do we need? What insight? Thank you, Spirit. We got fish. Let's speaking to more fertility, and the nightingale. I don't know that we've had nightingale before, but beautiful that we had the fish and the bird. So maybe you feel like you're in different worlds. You and your dreams, your wishes, or just another that you're interested in. If it's a relationship, you could feel like you're on different page with someone. You feel like you're on just different pages with life in general. That things are not syncing up, and I just say because the water and the air, the fish and the bird, two different worlds here is the first thing that I'm getting. With the fish, it's about, am I flip flopping? Are we staying aligned? This is a moment to focus your energies. Fish are very intelligent, very sensitive creatures. So you may be feeling very sensitive to the environment, the world around you. We did have water energies coming through. With the nightingale, the mouth open, there's song, it's a listening. And I also hear like speaking from the heart as well. There is this kind of romantic inclination with the nightingale that I feel, or at least emotion. And I don't know why, I just feel like there's an expression of releasing any grief or sadness, any sorrows, maybe through listening to music or singing just to yourself, in your own quiet space, listening to songs that help you to heal, help you to feel maybe a bit of a form of catharsis. All right. And so I hope that this time together has been supportive. Again, I encourage you to check out my website, kapualani.com, for any guidance or support you should need on a personal level, through a personal session, pre-recorded or live, as well as kapualani.com/extensions to catch that part 2 to the reading here. But before I let you go, thank you so much for being here. To those who have been longtime subscribers, or even if you're a new subscriber, welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you for being with me. Continuing on in the journey. To my current subscribers, if you have not subscribed, I do encourage you to subscribe. Leave a comment. Give this video a like if it has resonated with you, if it has felt supportive. And I really appreciate you for being here. I thank you for being here. Till next time.